mankind was banned from God's heavenly presence because of sin. We didn't trust God to give us life, so death reigned. Because we failed to put our faith in God, He could no longer trust us. God had given us the great responsibility of using the Spirit He gave us and cultivating life in the world through it. But mankind could no longer be trusted with the power and life God gave to us. Since the earth was connected to the heavenly realm through mankind, when man was cut off from heaven, the earth was cut off as well. The well-being of the earth has always been tied to mankind. So we face a problem in that creation is broken. Heaven and earth are disconnected. The only way to fix the relationship of heaven to earth is to fix the link that binds them. Fix mankind, and you fix creation. In order to fix mankind, sin and death had to be conquered. But before that could happen, God produced another place where the heavens and earth met, the temple. Through the temple, God was able to maintain a form of contact with humanity. The temple represented God's relationship to mankind. Inside of the temple, there was a veil that represented the separation of God from mankind and heaven from earth. Mankind still had a slight connection to God, but it was a veiled connection. As mentioned before, it was because mankind had become untrustworthy to be in God's presence and handle His Spirit that we had limited access to Him. The life that flows from God is so potent that if it's mishandled, it has deadly consequences. Nuclear plants have great potential to produce power, but we don't give untrained, untrustworthy people access to nuclear facilities. The potential for great life also has the potential for great destruction. So God had to remain connected to mankind in a limited way. If mankind were ever to have full access to the life of God again, he would need to demonstrate to God that he could be trusted enough to regain access. This is where Jesus comes in. It was Jesus' mission to show God that mankind could be trusted again. Jesus put his faith in God in all aspects of his life, even to the point of death. It is because of Jesus' faith that sin was atoned for. He handled the life of God's Spirit faithfully. Because Jesus never sinned, he was never cut off from the power of God. Because he had an unbroken connection through the Spirit of God, it was by that potent Spirit that his body was raised to life after crucifixion. And so a resurrected version of humanity was begun, a humanity that God could trust again. At Jesus' death, the veil of the temple was torn and mankind had access to God again. The heavens and the earth were reconnected, and God's powerful life could now flow down to the earth again. That powerful life is referred to in the Bible as the Holy Spirit. The Spirit was poured out from heaven. All of the things we once had in our glorified position are now available to us through the Spirit. Access to this heavenly life is referred to as God's grace. We no longer need temples because through Christ, we now are the temple. We are the connection. Because of Jesus' faithful life, a new creation has begun, even though we live in a fading creation. When Jesus comes again, there will be a new heavens and a new earth, and mankind will live in relationship to God and His creation eternally. This good news is available to anyone who wishes to join Jesus in the new creation. But of course, Jesus is the only one in whom creation has been repaired. He is the only one who has overcome death. Therefore, it is only through Him that anyone can be reconnected to God. In our next video, we'll take a look at how Christians rebuild and grow our connection with God.